Hello fellow book nerds, this is Gabby and today we're going to be talking about some releases for November. So I always get so many books on my radar that I just want to read so bad, and then I forget when the release date is, and then all of a sudden they're all out, and sometimes I buy them, sometimes I don't, and then I just forget to read them, and it's like a whole thing, and I have a stack of books that I didn't know I wanted to read, but I do want to read, but I did want to blah blah blah. It's just a lot. So I think this is a struggle for all of us. We don't know what's coming out, we don't know what we want to read, we don't know when, we don't know what, we just see a pretty cover and we want it, and that is exactly me. Pretty cover, I want it. So I decided to make this new kind of a series on my channel, but it's kind of just going to be a little bit casual, where 2 weeks before next month, in this case it'll be November, I'm going to talk to you about 5 books that I'm really excited that are coming out, maybe introduce something new to you. I really want to discuss why I'm excited, what I know about them and that kind of thing, and then I want to put all of those in a poll on Twitter, or you can tell me which one you would like me to read or which one you want to be reading, and we can make it like a big buddy read. It's like kind of like a book club, but it's not very serious, so it's not like an official book club. I just want you guys to choose a book that you want me to read, and then we can either all read it together or I'll read it, and then at the end of the said month, November in this case, I will release a video talking about the book I read, my thoughts, opinions, just like a very dedicated review to that one book, and hopefully that will give you a bit of an idea whether you would like it, or if you read it, maybe you just want to discuss it with me. I think it's going to be a really cool way for me to really get to those new releases and also get your guys' opinion, because you probably know better. Yeah, I'm just really excited about this. So after this video, please comment which one you want me to read, or just head on Twitter. Okay, very complicated intro for a very simple concept. So the first book I'm very excited about is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Well, this book is for fans of Last Magician, and if you've seen my first video after my hiatus, I am now the biggest Last Magician fan, so I love it, I cannot wait. But if The Last Magician is enough of a sell for you like it is for me, so it's a 1920s retelling of Romeo and Juliet set in Shanghai, and it's full of gangs and rivalries and monsters. Apparently, I'm just kind of looking at the Goodreads description because I don't know that much about it, but it sounds absolutely wonderful. I can read you a little bit of the description here. The year is 1926. And Shanghai hums to the tune of the battery. A blood feud between 2 gangs ran the streets red, leaving the city helpless in the grip of chaos. At the heart of it all is 18-year-old Juliet Kai, a former flapper who has returned... What's a flapper? A former flapper who has returned to assume her role as the proud heir of the Scarlet Gang, a network of criminals far above the law. Their only rivals in power are the White Flowers, who have fought the Scarlets for generations, and behind every move is their heir, Roma Montagov, Juliet's first love and first betrayal. Doesn't it sound so exciting? I've read Romeo and Juliet when I was in, I want to say secondary school, and I thought it was stupid because she's 14, he's like 18, and they knew each other 3 days, and he was in love to the death with someone else just before. So there's a lot of things that are omitted oftentimes in these retellings and these like reimagining of Romeo and Juliet. There's a lot of Romeo and Juliet content that I love. For example, the French musical Romeo et Juliette. It's wonderful. So that's the first book. I know all of book Twitter is super excited about this, so I am also very excited about this. Even if you don't vote for it, I'm gonna read it anyway. But let's move on. The second book is Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. So if you don't know Carrie Maniscalco, she's quite a popular author. Her most popular series is Stalking Jack the Ripper, which kind of retells stories of very famous serial killers, and also Dracula, so I don't really know how serial killer focused it is, but anyway, I read the first book. I was a bit disappointed. I thought it was fine, but nothing special. But this one sounds very exciting, and I'm willing to give her another chance since it's a whole new thing. So I have absolutely no clue what this is about, but this is the pitch. 2 sisters, 1 brutal murder, a quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself, an intoxicating romance. So apparently this is about Emilia and Vittoria, 2 sisters who are strega. I think that's how you said it. They're witches who live among humans. One day, one of the sisters, Victoria, misses a dinner invitation, and the next day her sister finds her deceased. which is sad. Desecrated beyond belief. There's a prince of hell in this. I love me a prince of hell. I watched Lucifer. Apparently looking for revenge, she decides to turn into black magic, which has always been prohibited. And then she meets Roth, who's a prince of hell. I'm ready. This sounds so cool, actually. I just wanted to read it for the author, but it sounds so cool. Like Prince of Hell, Strega, which I think it's like a from Eastern European mythology kind of witches, because that sounds like Strega. Haha. So Strega is a female demon from Slavic mythology, and it's somewhat similar to a vampire. So I guess it's kind of about vampires, but like Slavic vampires, and like I'm Slavic. But yeah, for this one I'm super excited about the Prince of Hell, the possibly Slavic mythology, and just the vibes as well. Next one is one I'm really excited about, and again I'm gonna read no matter what. But this is One by One by Ruth Ware. If you are not aware, Ruth Ware is quite a popular author on BookTube in general, and she writes thrillers, and her most popular thriller is The Turn of the Key, which is amazing and you should totally read it. The only downside of that book was a very mediocre ending, so I'm really hoping she'll pull through with the ending in here. So I'm pretty sure this is about a set of coworkers who decide to go on like a trip that the companies sometimes go to. I'm not sure what the name for that is because I'm unemployed. So they decide to go to a trip to this mountain cottage, and they get snowed in, and then they're stuck there, and I assume probably someone gets murdered, because they usually do, or there's just a lot of spookiness, a lot of untrustworthiness. I think that the atmosphere building was a really strong point in Ruth Ware's other book, Turn of the Key. That one was about a nanny who was kind of in this very remote cottage in Scotland, not cottage, like a smart house, like a villa, nannying kids, and that was like really remote as well, and I think this was gonna be even more remote. So I think if you're into that kind of vibes, this is gonna be perfect, and I'm so excited. So I just realized that one of the books I was gonna talk about is actually coming out in January. I don't know how that happens. That's way too bright. So we're moving on to our penultimate release, which is The 30 Names of Night by Zane Yukudar. This book is completely different than what I normally read, but I just kind of stumbled upon it and it sounds very interesting. It's a historical fiction, LGBTQ story, and let me just read you a little bit about the story because it sounds a little bit hard to describe. 5 years after a suspicious fire killed his ornithologist mother, a closeted Syrian-American trans boy sheds his birth name and searches for a new one. He has been unable to paint since his mother's ghost has begun to visit him each evening. As his grandmother's sole caretaker, he spends his days cooped up in their apartment, avoiding his neighbors, his estranged sister, and even his best friend, who also happens to be his longtime crush. Of course he does. The only time he feels truly free is when he slips out at night to paint murals on buildings in the once thriving Manhattan neighborhood known as Little Syria. So I just think it's really different than what I'm used to. I'm normally just read fantasy, and it sounds very exciting, so I want to give it a shot. If you guys know anything about it, let me know. But if you don't know, now you know. And let's move on to the last book, which is Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Cho. Gloria Cho is the author behind American Panda, which is a book I've read and I quite enjoyed. This is about a Taiwanese girl whose parents really want to meet her boyfriend, which she doesn't have. So she decides to rent a boyfriend. Fake dating is my favorite trope. I love it so much. It's just the angst, guys, the angst. The angst is just unreal with fake dating, okay? And then if you ever watched any dramas, there's a good chance it was a fake dating trope, and they just do it the best. I love it. It's like a fake dating, fake marriage. I have to share a bed, am I right? Like, I have to kiss. I just love this trope, and although I liked American Panda, I wasn't in love with it. I think the addition of my really loved trope, and when I'm in the mood for contemporary, hopefully this can marry and I can read this one with a smile on my face. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. It was a bit of a short one, but I just wanted to kind of get us excited for the new releases and decide on something together. I really hope this new releases book club / not really book club, because I'm not ready to commit. It's gonna be a really cool experience, and for that, please guys let me know in the comments which book out of these 5 you want me to read next month and review for you, and let me know if you're planning on reading any or all of them. Let me know your favorite releases for November. Yeah, if you could subscribe, like, comment, all of the good stuff, that would be really appreciated. But that's it from me. Bye!